Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Glam Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about training a weak body part by itself on its own day, so that way you can concentrate all the effort on that body part. Now, is this a valid technique or not? Because a lot of times I advocate higher frequency type training, or I advocate training whole body workouts to stimulate the overall system. And this sometimes will get misunderstood, where people think just because I advocate high frequency that I don't ever advocate high volume or basically concentrating on one body part just by itself. Now, the thing is that people don't realize is that when you're training compound movements and then you move from the compound movement to an isolation exercise, you may have certain body parts that are getting in the way, or at least they're fatigued so much so that your isolation muscle, or the muscle you want to hit fatigue, isn't hitting fatigue as deep as it could. So one example of this is that when I train shoulders and then I go into bicep training,
these arms are huge. Nobody else can see it, but I can.
I find a lot of times my shoulders will start to burn a lot as I'm trying to train my biceps. So sometimes the burn in my shoulders is what prevents the actual failure of the set, instead of the fatigue or exhaustion of the biceps themselves. So this is a primary example of how sometimes when you're training other body parts in the same workout, that it can get in the way of you really pushing the target body part into a deeper level of failure. So based on this, you may feel the need, depending on how your body's developing, you may feel the need to say, I'm just going to train this one muscle group this one particular day. So say you're doing my high frequency training program that I'm coming out with really soon, guys. I'm coming out with a high frequency training program, and you say, geez, you know, I have one body part that's really kind of lagging behind. I'm going to take one of those days of the week and I'm just going to concentrate on this one body part and do a higher volume workout for it. Maybe do 12 sets or 9 sets or 15 or 20 sets. It's up to you, right? But you really just give her shit on that body part. So like, say you're doing biceps and you say biceps are your weak link, right? I think this one person who asked this question, it was their arm training that was falling behind. So say they want to just train biceps. Just do barbell curls for 3 or 4 sets or 5 or 6 sets, and then do incline curls for 4 or 5 sets, then do some preacher curls for 4 or 5 sets, then do some cable curls for another 4 or 5 sets. Like, kick the crap out of the biceps where there's really nothing left of that muscle by the time you're done. And I guarantee you, if that body part is lagging behind, this is a valid technique to try to see if this helps you blast through whatever is the mitigating factor that is preventing you from gaining size in that area. So if you've been doing the conservative type of volumes, and you've been trying high frequency, and you've been doing everything supposedly correct, you have to try something different, and sometimes pushing the limit of how much volume that muscle can take can be one way of blasting through a plateau. I'm not saying it's always the way, because you can't perpetually just increase volume over and over again, because yeah, there will be a point of diminishing return or injury or overtraining. But I find a lot of times people get stuck in a structure where they don't try high volume, and then they never really find out whether it is the key to growing that body part or not. So the truth is, some body parts seem to respond better to higher volume than others. And only through experimentation will you find out which body parts do respond to higher volume and which ones respond more to lower volume, and so forth. If you do have a body part that's lagging behind, then yeah, feel free to just take that body part and train it just by itself in the gym for 45 minutes or an hour, and just blast it, and then go back to maybe your standard training program for the rest of the week or whatever. But this could be a great way to really make sure that your focus and all your energy is going towards making sure that body part itself is hitting failure or fatigue, and therefore you may blast through some sort of limitation in that area and finally get pumpy and lumpy, because that's really what this is about. Not everybody can have cat hair gains. I know a lot of you guys are jealous and you want me to come out with some sort of cat hair shirt for you, basically just made purely out of cat hair. But if you can't get access to a cat hair shirt, then you could just try this high volume approach to that weak body part. But ideally, the cat hair shirt is ideal, along with maybe a stain on your shirt, because I seem to get a lot of stains on my shirts too. So cat hair and stains, cat hair stains, to get cat hair gains. You heard it first at Natural Glam Bodybuilding. Mountain. So my final message is, there could be a valid reason to train a body part by itself, not only for the reason that you could make sure that that body part hits fatigue, but also because of the blood flow reason, where all the blood is filling that area and engorging that area with all the nutrients and everything that you need. And yeah, make sure you take the aminos, or make sure you have enough protein in your system and carbs and stuff. I take the super aminos to make sure I have enough protein in my system to make sure that my muscles are getting pumpy and lumpy. But nutrition is nutrition, right? If you don't have the proper nutrition, nothing matters. It doesn't matter what type of training you're doing. So I think there could be a valid reason for you to just train that one body part and make sure that you're concentrating all the blood flow in that area and all the nutrients to make sure you blast through a plateau. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. And if you need to get a hold of me, just go to naturalglandbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the Patreon supporters, and take care for now. Mountain cat hair gains. No more stains. I hope it doesn't rain.